Hello, everyone. Andy from Backbone Adventures in Estes Park, Colorado. I'm an ATV and Jeep rental company. We also do snowmobiles and e-bikes. So I'm going to do this video is basically about where to stay, what to do, where to eat in Estes Park. Give you a little bit of backstory real quick. So I've lived here my whole life. I live here on a place called Storm Mountain. Sorry, I'm in my garage right now. It's the middle of the winter. This is my garage. The cabin is up above, but so I've lived here my whole life, and this is what I do. I started out as a wrangler in Estes Park when I was a kid. Did some hunting guides as well, and just really loved it. The wrangler thing. I just loved meeting people from all over the country and all over the world, really. I always wanted to do something like this in my life, but just didn't have the means. I was raised poor, but eventually I was able to build up and start a business that is what I love the most. You gotta love what you do in life. I grew up riding dirt bikes and ATVs and hiking and riding horses and shed hunting. Well, this is one I just found about a year ago. Found him killed by a mountain lion back in a ways and hiked him out. So this is what I enjoy. Just the outdoors in the mountains. Living and working in the mountains is nothing better. So to be able to finally start a company like this and bring what I love to people so they can enjoy it as well and experience that is just what it's all about for me. Um, so I've been here my whole life and I've traveled around the country and to some other countries, but this is where I want to be, and I live here with my wife and daughter. So, at any rate, I have kind of a cheat sheet here, and I'm going to kind of go over, because anytime I do a video, I always forget something. So, I don't want to forget anything. I want to kind of knock this all out for you. So, if you're planning your vacation, a weekend getaway, what have you, maybe some of this information can help. Because I always have people coming back from the ride asking, what else should we do? Where should we eat? Where should we stay next time we come here? And I love those questions and like to be able to answer them. And I kind of, because this is what I do when I go on vacation with my family, I'm always looking for somebody who actually knows the truth. And I read blogs like you may be doing, and you see a lot of it is just clickbait. It's 15 things to do in New York City, 7 best places to eat in New York City, 10 best places to stay in New York City. And a lot of times it's just some joker who's Googled that information and has written a blog so that they can improve their SEO on their website, get more clicks on their website, so Google ranks higher, whatever. Um, for example, my wife and daughter and we went to Costa Rica, and we didn't know what to expect. We didn't know what to do, but we had 2 weeks there, and I had been looking through all that clickbait crap. But I finally found somebody who had a blog, this lady who goes there multiple times a year and who has a house there, and she wrote a blog. And that really was helpful, especially the whole car rental thing. That was very confusing there. So her information was invaluable. Just even how to drive to get away from the airport from San Jose, Costa Rica, to the destination we were heading to, which was I think 150 kilometers away. That her information was really helpful, and where we ended up staying was I got that information from her. Some of the activities we did I got from her, and they turned out to be amazing, and the places to eat were the best. So we really just had an amazing experience. But here's the most important thing I want to tell you: you get people all the time that come in. They've planned their vacation out every step of the way. Every hour of time is blocked off for something. And generally, I see those people don't really have a good time at pretty much anything they're doing, because life happens, shit happens, things go wrong, and they get really upset when their schedule is messed up. So just don't plan every single thing out. Leave some time, leave some room to be able to experience and explore. Ask some locals. whether you do business with us or not, stop in our shop. Ask us where to stay, where to eat, what else there is to do. For some trail maps, if you brought your own machines, we'll happily give that stuff out. We don't care. We're just nice people, and we're really knowledgeable about the area. Now, granted, a lot of the places you go to might have some seasonal workers. They don't really know much. Like any tourist town in America, it's a lot of out-of-state money and corporations kind of buying it all up. But there's still a few of us small business owners around who actually know what's up and can help out and actually enjoy that and enjoy talking to you. And that's another thing. I appreciate the food my customers put on my table. I appreciate the business more than, like I said, I was raised poor. So I appreciate that more than I can even voice in this video in words. And I like to do business with people who have the same mindset. So, leave some room to be able to, when you do meet somebody like that, and they give you some advice or offer up an idea, you have time to go do that. For example, there's a little town 10 minutes outside of Estes Park called Glenhaven. It's not really much of a town, but they sell some of the best cinnamon rolls in the world right there in this little shack. Sort of this little general store on the side of the road. That's cool to check out. It's quick, it's easy, and it's unique and different. Something you wouldn't expect. You want to see where the biggest fire in Colorado history hit? Come up to my house. It all exploded here in 2020, and you can actually see the devastation. Before you could rent a vehicle from us and get back in there to the National Forest, or even if you have your own 4x4 car or truck, you can get back in there and see it firsthand. And that's incredibly interesting. So there's lots of stuff here. Just leave time for that. So let's just jump into some things here. And let's start with other things to do. Now, obviously, this is what I grew up doing. This is what I love. And when people ask me what else is there to do, and they've just come back from an ATV ride, I'm going to say, how about a Jeep ride? How about an e-bike ride? Because those are really cool things. Let's talk about e-bike riding really quick. I wasn't into it. I like dirt bikes. I like motorized stuff. So my wife and I were in another mountain town for our anniversary a couple of years ago, and she wanted to do this. There were some e-bikes for rent, and she wanted to do that. I wanted to do an ATV ride because anytime we go on vacation, or even just so we can get away, we do an ATV ride wherever we go, just so we can see what the other people do. And if they have a great idea, we'll borrow that idea. Just always trying to improve what we do. So, for example, we were in Costa Rica and did one, and it was an amazing experience. And towards the end, right in the middle of the tour, we were looking at this waterfall, and we come back, and they got mangoes and pineapple all fresh cut up right there on the bed of one of these UTVs for us. I didn't expect that. They didn't have to do that, but they did. And so I stole the idea. I was like, that was really cool. So we came back, and I got a freezer and just chocked it full of ice cream. So when you come back from a ride with us, you hop in the freezer and grab some ice cream, and it's free of charge. It's just a way of saying thank you. Just kind of put a cherry on top of your day, especially on a hot summer day. So, at any rate, getting back to my point, which was e-bikes. That's right. She wanted to do the e-bike thing. I want to do the ATV thing. We compromised. It's like, all right, I'll do this thing. You do this thing. So we go and we do it, and I was pretty reluctant. I wasn't really interested in riding bikes, powered or not. And after 2 hours, it was like, wow, this was amazing. This was so cool. And we were just riding down a stinking highway, a mountain highway, but it was still awesome. I mean, I hightailed it right back to Estes Park, and we bought a fleet of e-bikes, started renting. It was like, we have to do this. People have to experience that, because we have an amazing bike path here going around Lake Estes. Seems to always be elk in there, so that's really cool. Just an amazing place. In my opinion, the most beautiful place on earth. And so we started doing those just because of that unexpected experience. So that's something you should check out for sure. Any rate, other things to do in Estes Park, Mustang Mountain Coaster, just down the road from us. It's fairly cost effective. It's a coaster that goes down the side of a mountain. You're in a little cart, and you control the brakes, so they can go pretty quick, which is kind of fun. I would check them out. It's called Mustang Mountain Coasters. Uh, there's an aerial tramway, cheap, easy, great view, something the whole family can just jump in and do, and an activity you're done with in 30 minutes. So there's that. Hiking, you have to hike. You come here, you got to do some hiking. Now, I'm not interested in hiking unless I'm out looking for sheds, antlers. But some of the hiking in Rocky Mountain National Park is phenomenal. And if you need advice on that, stop into the shop. Myself and other people that work there, they know all about the trails up there. So whether you're looking for something easy, intermediate, or difficult, they can advise you on something and tell you where to get maps. And I don't, the mountain shop in Estes Park is they're just down the road from us. They're a great resource for that as well. And if you're into snowshoeing or backcountry skiing, cross-country skiing, that kind of thing, they rent that stuff. And in all fairness, they rent e-bikes as well. And like us, they're right on the bike path, so you don't have to ride on any roads or anything. So, and those people are really cool, and again, locally owned, and just cool people. So, but yeah, definitely want to go for a hike in Rocky Mountain National Park, for sure. Bear Lake is probably the most popular. It's going to be incredibly busy. Do know this: you go to the Rocky Mountain National Park here, you have to have a reservation. So get online and book that in advance, especially if you're here in the middle of July when it's incredibly busy. As far as time to be here in Colorado, the best time, in my opinion, September through October. That's when elk rut is going on. All the elk, all the bulls are down there. They're all over town. They're right next to my shop and everybody's shop. They might be right in the front yard of your hotel, sitting there fighting and mating and doing their thing. It's craziness. It's actually really, really cool. It's a huge attraction here. We call it Elk Fest. So that's a good time to come. Some other things to do. National Forest Trails got a ton of it. We're completely surrounded by National Forest here, which is your public land, and you're free to access that anytime you like. Yeah, you can't really get a rental car into a lot of those areas. You need a service like mine provides to be able to get back in there and experience it, but some beautiful things to see, tons of wildlife. It's amazing. If you want some more information on that, check out our trails page on the website, and that'll kind of show you. There's a video on there about some of the different trails. I try and make that pretty quick and easy, quicker than this video. Go-karts. There's a couple places in town to do that. I would suggest Cascade Creek, again, locally owned. Really cool people. They got a cool mini golf area there too, bumper boats, this and that. The mini golf is pretty neat to have a waterfall going on. So yeah, do that. Great thing to do with the kids. What else? Let me look at my cheat sheet here that I have. Breweries. We have lots of cool local breweries in Estes Park. Avant-Garde, Rock Cut. There's a few different ones I would definitely check out. They're cool to hang out at. The Rock Inn it's not a brewery, but it's a bar, log cabinish bar. Sometimes they have music there, bluegrass music, and the food is pretty good. Obviously want to go spend a little bit of time shopping downtown Estes Park. I mean, I've lived here my whole life. I'm 53. My wife and I have been together 30 plus years, and I swear to God, she's constantly dragging me downtown. And so after that many years, you can imagine how many times I've been shopping in downtown Estes Park. And still, every time we go, it's like, okay, we find something new and cool. So, and even if you're not into shopping, there's like, you want to hit up Elkins. They're right there. They're a local distillery, make some kick-ass whiskey, and you can do some tastings in there. So sometimes you don't want to shop. You can just get in there and get lit a little bit and hang out on the street corner. It's not like that, but it's just chock full of people and very cool, fun vibe down there. Very family friendly, and just beautiful vibe. Any rate, you want to go on a horseback ride? SK Horses is who I would suggest. Again, local people, very cool, love what they do, offer the best service. You'll ride into Rocky Mountain National Park. If you're going to do that, I would suggest the fall time during rut. It gets a little sketchy because you got bull elk out there that are pretty riled up, and they're nearby bugling all over the place, and you can hear them everywhere. It's pretty eerie sounding, and it happens like this when you're out on an ATV ride too in certain areas. or an e-bike ride, especially the guided tour we do up Old Fall River Road, and you hear those bull elk bugling, and they're somewhere. It's real eerie. And you don't know where they're at, and then boom, here comes one running out of nowhere. He's running after another bull or whatever. Um, cool experience, unlike anything you probably ever experienced. Pretty neat. So those guys. Obviously, there's our stuff. Anytime I'm suggesting this is what I love, so that's what I'm going to tell people to do: ATV riding. I think it's the most fun, the most adventurous, the most gets the most adrenaline going. But then again, you can experience the real backwoods of Colorado, the beautiful views and the wildlife, and just some unique terrain that you've never seen before. And spend that quality time with friends and family. It's just a great experience, whether you're on on ATVs, UTV, or in a Jeep. Snowmobiles, what have you. So let's talk about some places, and I apologize this video is so long, but I hopefully get you all the information you need so you can plan a good trip. Places to eat. I'm a kind of a huge foodie. The older I get, my wife and I, and the more traveling we do, the more we kind of get into food and wine. So Bird and Jim's, great place to go, very popular, unique environment, unique menu, really cool. It's named after Isabella Bird and Rocky Mountain Jim, a couple of local characters from back around the turn of the century that were part of founding this area, and so cool place to check out. Twin Owls Restaurant has a really good steak, a good béarnaise sauce as well, so you'll need reservations at most of these places. That's a good place nice place to eat, nice to take your date out to or whatever. Seasoned is another one where you'll need reservations. Very small, boutique, high-end kind of chef in there. There's maybe only 7 tables, but very unique menu. Very, very cool. Definitely look into that one. Coming down from Twin Owls and Seasoned, which will be a little bit more on the expensive side. Bird and Jim's too, maybe on some dinner plates that you get, down to a more affordable level. Sweet Basilicos. My wife's Italian, so I've gotten into Italian food over the years. We eat a lot of Italian. For me, it's all based on who makes the best chicken marsala. And if they don't make a good chicken marsala, it's not good Italian food. They make a good chicken marsala. It's very different. They have some fried raviolis, it's pretty good. Like I say, it's very cost effective. You'll see the owner, old guy. You probably see him back there in the kitchen, milling around doing his thing. Guy is there 24/7, I think, working. Sometimes they'll come out and see how your food is, and just a really cool place. And me and my daughter, that's our favorite place by far. Antonio's Pizza. If you're into New York pizza, New York style pizza, believe it or not, some of the best pizza in the world is right here in Estes Park, and that's at Antonio's Pizza. He is world famous for it. He's from Brooklyn, so the pizza is phenomenal, and it's busy. So you'll want to order that ahead of time for sure. Amazing pizza. People drive from all over Colorado actually to come to Estes Park just to eat that pizza. Fresh Burger. We have McDonald's here. Hey, you know what McDonald's is? That's not even really food, but we have a place called Fresh Burger. It's actually in a gas station. You can do it through a drive-through, and that is a locally owned place. I mean, it's not the best burger you've eaten in your life, but it's a hell of a lot better than McDonald's, and the fries are great. So I would definitely give that a go. Scratch Deli is a local little deli, and I think they do delivery like hotel rooms and stuff. They have a roast beef French dip that's amazing. Thai food. There is a Thai food place up here. I forget what it's called though. Pho Thai maybe? That's really good. And I'm not a Thai food kind of guy, but that's pretty good stuff. There is a Mexican restaurant that everybody always asks about Mexican restaurants. I'm not a huge Mexican food fan, but this place is actually good. And people that are fans of Mexican food, they say that this is one of the best places around. And damn, I can't think of it off the top of my head, but and since I can't, I'm just going to tell you where it's at. So if you look at, maybe I could just look it up on the computer here. Maybe I'll do that while I'm talking, try and find that for you. But Yeah, I'm not going to waste your time with that. Uh, it's going to be near the Sugar Shack. So Google the Sugar Shack and just go north of that, just, a few hundred feet. And whatever that Mexican restaurant is called, that's it. That's the one you want to go to. You get a lot of food for your money. It's really good. So let's talk about some other places. Those are the places I like in Estes Park. You know, want a great breakfast, Notch Top, again, locally owned, very cool, local favorite. That's where we go. That or Bighorn, the Bighorn restaurant. Both great breakfast, a lot of food for your money. This is where the locals go. Those two places. And they go some other places too, but that's really kind of those are big. Now you're gonna, just like anything, you're gonna see reviews that are really high for some places, and go ahead, give them a shout. But these are the places a lot of us like to eat. So, having said all that, take the time to drive down to Loveland, 45 minutes away, from Estes, maybe 50, and go to Nordy's Barbecue. That's some barbecue that rivals any barbecue in the country, and it is amazing. Definitely kick ass. Got to try that out. Take the time to drive down there and do that. I promise you. There's a barbecue place in Estes Park. Don't bother. Go down to Nordy's. If you're in Denver, you got to go to Garden Grace. Garden Grace is one of the top 10 steakhouses in the United States, and for good reason. Uh, their Wagyu steak is just simply amazing, and their béarnaise sauce, and then they have a pan-seared white wine and lemon gnocchi, and a shot of Don Julio, a bite of that steak dipped in béarnaise with a gnocchi on top of it is the best bite of food I've ever had in my life. Amazing. Got to make reservations there. It's downtown Denver next to 16th Street Mall, so it's kind of a cool experience down there. Take some time, maybe do that. If you're in Denver, go to the Denver Biscuit Company. So I don't like being around people that much. I live in the mountains. This is where I want to be. This is where I want to stay. But sometimes my wife and I will get out away from the mountains and for a night, and we'll go down to Denver. Get a nice hotel, Four Seasons, right there at the 16th Street Mall in downtown Denver with all the skyscrapers, and we book reservations at the Garden Grace, and hang out that night. Maybe walk around a little bit, and then we eat at the Denver Biscuit Company the next morning, and that is a plate of food unlike anything you've ever had. Now, if you've ever been to New Orleans, maybe you've eaten at the Ruby Slipper, and they have a few other locations down south. This makes the Ruby Slipper look like a trash can, and the Ruby Slipper is amazing. Let me tell you, that's some good food down there. Best in New Orleans, in my opinion. There's a couple other good ones too, but Denver Biscuit Company, wow. I mean, it's I can't even begin to describe it. Google it, go there, just go there. They got 5 locations in Denver. That's an amazing breakfast. Let's talk about places to stay. That's what I suggest for eating. Places to stay. Black Canyon Inn in Estes Park they're really cool people. And it's a really nice place to stay. Actually, kind of funny story. The log cabin, there's a big, huge log cabin section of this inn. And I helped build that when I was 16 years old. I worked construction up here, and I helped put them logs there. I pretty much, me and one other guy did the whole roof. We put all the trusses in, and so any rate, cool place, very cool people, really cool place to stay on a great end of town. Lots of elk over there, near the McGregor Ranch, which is neat to check out. It's also near the Stanley. Everything's pretty close to Estes Park. But yeah, Black Canyon Inn, awesome place. Speaking of McGregor, the McGregor Mountain Lodge, and again, very, very cool people. Amazing history, that McGregor Ranch, but so definitely you want to check that out. Really like that place. My wife and I have stayed at all these places. We've stayed at so many places in Estes Park over the years since we've been together, 30 plus years. I can pretty much tell you about any place. These are the places I really like, and some others, but McGregor Lodge is awesome. I would definitely consider that. Uh, as far as a regular hotel experience, Murphy's I think is the best. They have two, Murphy's River Lodge and Murphy's Resort. Murphy's Resort is right across the street from our shop, and that's a great motel. You get a breakfast in the morning. The rooms are really nice. Lots of activities in their little center area. It's kind of private. You know, swimming pool, of course. Things to do for the kids. Playground area, horseshoes, barbecue. I mean, just lots of stuff there, and very very cool people. So I like that place, and the River Lodge is awesome as well. It's right there near Fall River, so close to Rocky Mountain National Park. Another this is gonna be more of is Delaterra. Is one of the most romantic hotels in the United States. Example, my wife and I it's into February, just a week or so ago, we booked a room there for Valentine's Day. I mean, it's $400 a night, but $375, but amazing, amazing suite. Check out the website; you'll see what I mean. It's all that quality and more. It's absolutely beautiful. It was an amazing night there, so definitely take that in consideration. Estes Park is the #2 wedding destination in the United States, just behind Las Vegas. Las Vegas for eloping, but here, I mean, people are getting. We just did a wedding party yesterday during a snowstorm, so it's constantly people getting married here. And Delaterra is a main hub for that, and the rooms are. If you're on a romantic weekend getaway or something, you're on a honeymoon, that's where you want to be. Book way in advance, though. Let's see, Ramshorn Village. They're a cool little place. They have a bunch of cabins. These cabins are owned by other people, and but these people stay there for 2 weeks out of the year, and the rest of the year they're available to rent. And they're nice little one-bedroom cabins that are, like I say, they're nice quality. It's not some rundown cabin. And so I would suggest them. Ramshorn Village, very cool place. There's really no bad places in Estes Park to stay. There might be one or two. They're not bad. They're just not that great. Pretty much anywhere you stay is going to be a great place to stay. So the ones that I don't usually suggest will be the corporations. I don't really like those. We've all stayed at the Comfort Inns and Best Westerns and stuff like that, and I don't. It's corporation. What are you going to get for your money? You get a bed, and a clean room. That's all you get. And so, and I don't like the way how they operate in the summertime up here. They're very greedy. So I tend not to suggest those major chain corporations for that reason. So they'll rake you over the coals if they can. Not to talk trash, but that's generally how they work, I think, during the busy months. So with that said, let's talk about real quick and finish up this video. Let's talk about traveling to Estes Park. Obviously, you're coming in on DIA, or you're here in Colorado coming up. Know a couple of things. There is no Uber up here in Estes Park. You might get lucky and find one guy, maybe. But I just had somebody Uber from Denver to Estes Park the other day. It cost them $97 that one direction and $97 back. There's not really any Uber up here. So you're going to want to do a car rental. And there's another thing. There's no car rental places up here in Estes Park. There's a guy that does some older cars. Up Top Towing. I'm going to hit him up. But other than that, not really any car rental places per se, like a Budget or Enterprise or Hertz or any of that kind of thing. So you're going to want to rent a car. There is a shuttle that comes from DIA to Estes Park every single day, multiple times a day. Estes Park Shuttle Service, local guy. I know him well. He's cool. Very cool people. So look into that if you don't want to rent a car, because Estes Park is somewhat a small town area. And if you plan your little vacation right, or your weekend getaway, you may not need a car. You might be able to just rent an e-bike and ride that around to get where you, or just walk. But yeah, I mean, you can get that Estes Park shuttle up to here. get you to whatever hotel you're staying at, and then you're going to have places to eat within walking distance, shopping, activities all within walking distance. So just keep that in mind. I can't really think of anything else. This video is long enough. It's already half an hour in. Oh my God! But hopefully that all helps you to be able to plan cool things to do here, coming from a guy who is local and been here his whole life. But again, leave time open in your schedule to experience other things and talk to people, and you never know what the possibilities may be. Just a nice scenic drive somewhere. I could suggest all kinds of those, but I don't want this video to be, I could literally spend 2 hours talking about this stuff, but I've already taken enough of your time, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch all this if you've made it this far. Thanks, and I hope you have a good vacation. Have any questions, just let us know. Whether you do business with us or not, stop in, say hey, and hopefully we'll see you soon.